Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama sallaita ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima. Innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama barakta ala Ibrahima وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربنا زدنا علما يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلبي على دينك آمين. Today we'll do Surah Tariq. This is a Makki surah having 17 verses in it. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالطَّارِقِ, by the sky and that which appears by night. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الطَّارِقِ, how will you know what it is that appears by night? النَّجْمُ الثَّاقِبِ, it is the bright star. كل نفس لما عليها حافظ, there is no soul without a guardian appointed over it. فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق, man should ponder about what he was created from. خلق من ماء دافق, he was created from spouting water. يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب, which emerges from between the backbone and the chest. إنه على رجعه لقادر, verily Allah has the power to resurrect him. Allah, in the explanation, the writer said, Allah Ta'ala takes an oath by the sky and by a bright star to assert that he has appointed an angel to watch over every person. The task of these angels is to record every deed that a person carries out. Their records will be presented on the day of Qiyamah, and Allah will decide every person's affair. According to this interpretation, the guardian refers to the records angels referring to in Surah Infitar. The number of the surah is 82 in Quran and the verses are 10 and 11, where Allah says, "Verily there are guardians upon you who are noble and are recording." Other commentators have mentioned that the verse refers to other angels who are commissioned to protect people, concerning whom Allah says in Surah Ra'd, "If everyone there are angels before him and following behind him, protecting him." These angels are appointed with the expression task of protecting people from calamities. However, the first interpretation is more apt about the surah discussion. Qiyamah and people tend to doubt its coming, thinking that they cannot be called to account for words and deeds that are said and done. Further, dispelling the doubt people express concerning resurrection, Allah Ta'ala states, man should ponder about what he was created from. He was created from spouting water which emerges from the between the backbone and the chest. This verse makes reference to the drop of semen from which man was created, which is referred to it Surah Sajda as lowly water. Allah tells man in every verses that there is no cause for him to deny that Allah can resurrect man after man has been reduced to dust. Allah created man from a drop of semen and nourishes and nurtures him throughout his life. Therefore, it is obvious that Allah has the power to resurrect him. Allah says in Surah Qiyamah, was he man, not a discharge of semen, after which he developed into a clot of blood, And then Allah reacted him and perfected him. Then Allah made the couple male and female. Does he then not have the power of resurrect the dead? Surah number 75 verses 37 till 40. Allah Ta'ala describes the male sperm as spouting water which emerges from between the backbone and the chest. The Arabic word wataraib, translated above as chest, actually refers to the sternum, although a child is conceived when the male and female gamete meet. The verse use the word water in the singular sense. The author of Bayanul Quran mentions that the singular form is used because the verse refer to a zygote, that is, the cell formed after the union of the male and female uh, gamete. The hadith mention that women also discharge a form of semen like men do. In fact, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that if the semen of a wife is more than that of a husband, then they cohabit. The child will resemble the wife's family. On the contrary, when the husband's semen is more, the child will resemble his family. Narrated by Muslim. Allah Ta'ala says that the water emerges from between the backbone and the chest. Physicians of the past maintain that the semen is produced from every part of the body and it is corresponding part of the father and mother's body that leads to the formation of that part of the child's body. Possibly an antiquated description of the genes. If this is true, it will not contradict the verse between the wording of the verse. This does not restrict the source of semen to the backbone and chest. It may also be said that since the back represent one end of the body and the chest represent the other end of the body at the front, the phrase between the backbone and the chest refers to the entire body. Now look at the next verses of the surah, from verse number 9 till 17. Yawma tublis sarair, the day when secrets will be examined. فَمَا لَهُ مِن قُوَّةٍ وَلَا نَاصِرٍ. There shall then neither be any power nor assistant for man. وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الرَّجْعِ, by the sky from which rain falls. وَالْأَرْضِ ذَاتَ الصَّدْعِ, and by the earth which cleaves. إِنَّهُ لَقَوْلٌ فَصْلٌ, it is definitely a decisive speech. وَمَا هُوَ بِالْحَزْلِ, and it is no joke. إِنَّهُمْ إِنَّهُمْ يَكِيدُونَ كَيْدًا, they are certainly conniving a plot. وَأَكِيدُ كَيْدًا, and I am also planning something. فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْهِلْهُمْ رَوَيْدًا, give the disbelievers respite, grant them reprieve for a while. In the foregoing verses, Allah mentions that He is perfectly capable of resurrecting man after his body was decomposed, just as He was capable of creating him the first time from a drop of fluid. In the verses under discussion, Allah speaks about the day of Qiyamah when man will be represented before Him for a reckoning. Allah says the day when secrets will be examined, that is, when the quality of all deeds will be examined. Allah says in Surah Kahf, the record of deeds shall be placed, and you will see the sinners afraid of what is contained in them. They will say, woe be to us. What is with this book that it does not leave anything small or large unrecorded? They will find their deeds present. Surah number 18, verse number 50. In ayat number 10, there shall then neither be any power nor assistance for man. Man will be totally helpless on the day of Qiyamah, and none will be able to help him. Allah Ta'ala then takes two oaths to assert that the Quran is true indeed, and that is it effectively differentiates between truth and falsehood. Allah says, by the sky from which rain falls and by the earth which cleaves. That is when a seed germinates, it cleaves the earth apart a sprout. Using these two oaths to strengthen the affirmation, Allah declares it, the Quran, is definitely a decisive speech and it is no joke. Allah continues in ayat number 15, they, the kafir, are certainly conniving a plot to stifle the truth and to prevent others from accepting Islam. The mushrikeen continuously harassed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and prevent people from meeting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by telling them that he was insane and that he was merely relating fanciful fables of the past. In addition to this, they are persecuted the Muslims. Allah says, I am also planning something while the kuffar are while the kuffars are busily planning to destroy Islam, Allah shall confound their plans. In the last two verses, the writer says that Allah then tells Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam not to grieve but to give the disbelievers respite, grant them reprieve for a while. In these concluding verses, Allah resumes Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he has nothing to worry about because Allah shall soon deal with the mushrikeen. They will certainly be punished in the hereafter. Of course, punishment in this world can never be ruled out. It then occurred that the mushrikeens were defeated in the battle of Badr and many of their leaders were killed. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته